subsequent termination of the employment of 2 scientists.
After years of questions and political wrangling, the moment of truth. Documents released detailing why Xiangguo Qiu and her husband Keding Cheng were fired from the National Microbiology Lab in Winnipeg.
They weren't disclosing information, they weren't disclosing relationships, that the nature of other work that they were conducting wasn't being disclosed.
Good morning.
Qiu was part of an award-winning team that developed Canada's Ebola vaccine. Now, intelligence assessments also show she and her husband shared infectious viruses and scientific research with China, had a close and clandestine relationship with Chinese officials, and were considered a credible threat to Canada's economic security. The documents also say she lied about her involvement with Chinese government and military programs. In January 2021, both she and Cheng had their security status revoked and were fired in letters saying, "You can no longer be trusted to safeguard information, assets, and facilities. You cannot be relied upon not to abuse the trust and not pose a security risk to the Government of Canada and PHAC." We've never been able to talk to Qiu or Cheng, and no one answered their door today.
Will he acknowledge espionage was involved in the Winnipeg lab incident?
For years, the opposition has fought for details to be released, accusing the government of using national security to shield itself from embarrassment. The health minister says the threat of Chinese influence wasn't as well known at the time.
I do think there was a lax adherence to security protocols. I think that there was an inadequate understanding of the threat of foreign interference. I believe that an earnest effort was made to adhere to those policies, but not with the rigor that was required.
But security experts are skeptical.
We knew a lot and had known a lot for at least a decade about Chinese foreign interference activities in Canada, a lot of concern at that time. And so there's really no excuse.
As for the lab, it says it's beefed up its security protocols and its rules for collaborating and sharing research with other countries. Karen Pauls, CBC News, Winnipeg.